Republicans in Congress, we need to talk. Democrats, you won't like this, so go over to HuffPo and get some new celebrity gossip about breakups of people you never heard of before. Okay, Republicans, congratulations for your inspiring vote to repeal the Affordable Care Act. I know you guys hate Obamacare, and on some levels I agree with you. This bill is so watered down, Dick Cheney could take it to Gitmo and pour it on Khalid Sheik Mohammed's face. It's full of improvements, yes, but it doesn't actually reform the system, and the public option's dead. It's like swooping up the survivors of the Titanic and dropping them on a much nicer sinking ship. But you know what, Republicans? It's a start. In a few decades, the Democrats might turn this into something we could all be proud of. And it should have been you, Republicans. Can you imagine if you guys had led the fight for a public option? Oh my God, you would have called it the Freedom of Care and Long-Term American Strength and Stability Bill. Sean Hannity would accuse anybody opposed to national health care of treasonous disregard for Americans. You know where Sean gets really mad and his head looks like Fred Flintstone yelling at Barney for swiping the Fruity Pebbles? Come on, you think the Democrats would have been able to pass a public option? These guys are like Clark Kent without a phone booth. Harry Reid has caved so many times there are miners trapped inside him. You guys would have rammed this thing through both houses of Congress before John Boehner even had a chance to weep in public. At least I think he's weeping. He could be secreting orange Fanta. But health care reform and a public option represent the very core values you guys claim to believe in. I know I'm losing some of you here, so here's 3 quick reasons why. Number 1, if you're afraid of competition, you're not really a capitalist. Look, why would believers in a free market deny American consumers the choice of cheaper Canadian drugs? Or fight a public option that competes with insurance companies, driving down prices and slashing the deficit? You guys would have come up with a cooler name, I bet. You would have called it the Citizen's Choice, and Lou Dobbs would have tipped his sombrero. Instead, you called it socialism, which is actually the kind of health care you guys have. The public option is the O'Douls of universal health care. And don't tell me it's bad for insurance, all right? Saying the public option will hurt private insurance is like saying community college hurts the Ivy League. Number 2, if you don't want to save American lives, you don't get to call yourself a patriot. I think we can all agree saving American lives is what patriotism is all about. It's what led us to spend $1 billion a week in Iraq. Well, 45,000 Americans die every year because they can't get coverage. Our number 1 cause of bankruptcy is inability to pay health care costs. We are ranked 37th in the world, and other nations are laughing at us, Republicans. The CBO estimated Iraq would cost us $2.4 trillion over 10 years. The projected cost of the public option over the same period, $1.2 trillion. Now, I only went to public school, but I'm pretty sure that's half the cost, saves far more American lives, and doesn't make other countries want to kill us. And don't tell me it's a job-killing bill, all right? Because you guys all supported NAFTA, and NAFTA screwed a lot more young people than NAMBLA. It's not a blueprint for socialism, my friends. You're thinking of the New Testament. Which brings me to number 3. If you don't want to help the sick, stop calling yourselves Christians. Now, this doesn't apply to all of you, only the Republicans who wave their Christianity in my face like a rainbow flag on Pride Day. And this may shock you guys, but Jesus never once asked a leper for a copay. In Matthew 10:7, he commands his followers to help cure the sick. Luke 4:40, he heals more people than can be counted. And the Good Samaritan paid all the wounded strangers' medical bills out of pocket in cash. Now, of course, I know what you're going to say. Y'all say the same thing. Well, Jesus did tell us to help the sick, but he never said the government should pick my pocket to do it. Yeah. Here's the difference. Jesus never had democracy. He lived in the 1st century Holy Land under European imperial occupation, but this is America, where we are the government. So if you don't want to take care of the sick, that's your choice. But stop saying you want a government based on Christian values, because you guys are turning into a mean, smug, anti-Christian little club, prayer against care. But here's the good news. It's not too late to save healthcare reform from these bumbling, incompetent Democrats, Republicans. You guys could still do it. You got the power. You got the organization, your own 24/7 cable net, and a very, shall we say, motivated fringe. Yeah, you would lose millions in insurance company campaign donations. I know that. But you'd make up for it in votes from a grateful nation. If you guys had passed the public option, it would be law right now. Americans would hold you up as heroes. You'd own D.C. for years, and they'd be right to revere you. Instead, we're just going to get more of the same. And if Barack Obama discovers the cure for cancer, Glenn Beck will ask, why does this man hate chemotherapy?